Just want to take a minute to welcome everybody to my tiny house. A tiny house. So come on in and I'll give you the tour. I just moved in today. And there you go. There's the tour. So over here you can see the office. If we take a look over here, we'll see the kitchen area. And here's the living room. There's the bathroom over there. And over here is the 2-bicycle garage. It comes fully equipped, man. I am styling and ready to go. What's going on, everybody? Coming at you live from the tiny house. The tiny house. It's smaller than a tiny house, actually. Phew. I set my goal to get out of my friend's house by February 1st, and that's today. And I found this place. All the utilities were included. There's a lot of good about it. I only took you on the tour, but you really haven't seen everything that this place has to offer yet. And I literally just moved in. I went through a hassle and a half to rent a van to throw all my stuff in, bring it over, drop off, ride my bike back. I'll talk about that for a minute. U-Haul. U-Haul is the worst company in the world to try and rent from. I've never had a good experience with them. In fact, when it comes to anything related to having to rent a vehicle to move some stuff around, they're the last place I call. Because I can't even, I went to art school, and I've dealt with U-Haul many times. I've moved around. Nobody has a good story when it comes to U-Haul. It's all, you say something about, oh, I got a U-Haul. Oh my God, what happened? Is going to be the reply. And so U-Haul let me make an online reservation for yesterday at 5 p.m. at a place that's not even open on Fridays. You heard me. Their reservation system allowed me to make a reservation for 5 o'clock. So we go to pick up this van and the place is closed. And U-Haul turned that into a complete nightmare. I called them. They're like, well, let us try and switch your reservation to a place nearby. And there's like 15 places that are within a quick drive of where we were. And they just kept passing me. They would talk to me for a couple minutes. I'd have to tell them the whole story. They'd say, well, let me transfer you to someone who can help you. I'd have to tell the whole story all over again. Let me transfer you to someone who can help you. I can't help you. I went through that like 5 times, and while I was going through that, getting put on hold, transferred, the whole thing over and over again, I got on Enterprise rental car website, reserved a minivan. That's what I did to get down to Texas. I figure, why not? I'll get another minivan. It won't be as spacious as a cargo van, but I'll get unlimited mileage, and there's a couple of things I would like to do since I'm going to have a vehicle in my hands for 24 hours, and I can take care of a few things that otherwise, you can see I've got the bicycles behind me. One of those things I wanted to take care of was getting a spare bicycle. So you see the Red Rocket is back there in the bicycle garage, the 2-bicycle garage, and you see the Silver Bullet, which is the new bicycle. And I'm gonna do some more videos on the bicycles. I got an almost brand new Specialized road bicycle. It's 20 years old, and it's still got plastic wrap on the brake levers from when it was brand new that the owner never even peeled off. You can tell he crashed the bike once, or he went down on it. He either dropped it on its side or he took a spill. There's a mark on the saddle, and there's a little bit of road rash on the rear derailleur, but it's a solid component, so there's no damage. Every rear derailleur I've ever had has road rash on it, so it happens. But it seems like in the 20 years this guy had this bike, he might have rode it around the cul-de-sac a couple times, took a spill and said, okay, that's that, hung it up in the garage for people to look at, and sold it on Craigslist to me yesterday. And because I had a minivan, I was able to drive over and get it. So I'm relying on a bicycle for transportation right now. And I'm going, because of where I moved to, it's a 18 to 22 mile ride each way to the bakery now. And that's fine. Weather's looking nice for the next week, next 10 days. It's looking to be like sunny and 70s, maybe a little bit of cloudy. It was beautiful today. Beautiful weather today. So I'm cool with that. But what came into my mind was, and this has been on my mind for a while, but now that I don't have my friend living with me who could, in a pinch, give me a ride somewhere, and it's only 5 miles to the bakery from his house, I could actually walk there in an hour and a half. Now I'm in a pickle. If something happens to my bike where I got to order a part, or the bike's not rideable, or something's haywire. Bicycles are pretty reliable, but anything goes wrong, I'm in some deep doo-doo because I'm not going to be able to ride my bike to work. So this bike that I found on Craigslist was probably a $1,200 bike when it was new. I bought it for $300 cash. I tried to negotiate and haggle with the guy. He wouldn't budge. I wasn't willing to play the I'm just going to wait a week and see if he changes his mind game, because he had it up for a while. Because I needed to do this yesterday. But I've got a brand spanking new, specialized, I don't even know what it's called. I called it the Silver Bullet. That's its name now. Shimano 105 components. If you know about bicycles, that's a pretty solid group. It's probably a 2003 to 2005 date range. It's the Specialized Sequoia. It's closer to a road racing bike than the Red Rocket that you see back there, which is more of a touring bike. It's got a more aggressive geometry, but it's not a full-on road racing bike. It's more of a casual, fast road bike. There's so many different styles of bicycles and so many micro niches of bicycles out there. There's literally a bicycle for every single kind of bicycle ride you could possibly go on. And that bike is no exception. It's a unique setup, but it's fast. And I'm going to keep it more as a pure road bike. And it even came with some Shimano SPD pedals. Really nice set of pedals. Pretty much the same pedals I have on the Red Rocket, so all I have to do is adjust the tension, make sure it's turned all the way up, and click, click, I can click right in and ride. The bike is ready to go. I'm going to give it a quick tune-up on the work stand when I have a minute, but that bike is ready to ride. That bike is almost brand spanking new. The tires still have mold marks on them. No signs of dry rot. The seat has a suspension seat post, and there's a rubber elastomer inside the seat post, which gives it a little bounce when you're sitting on it. But I noticed that it wasn't quite right, and I took it apart, and the rubber elastomer inside the seat post is like a rock-hard piece of plastic now. So there's definitely no suspension in the suspension seat post. I'm either going to get a standard seat post, $25 on Amazon, or take a ride to a really cool bike shop down the road. If you're ever in Houston and you see all these stickers on people's cars, and they're all over the country now, the sticker says, "Go see Ken." And this guy, Ken, is the manager of a really cool bike shop, and it's about 10 miles up the road in a straight shot from where I live right now. Pretty cool dude. I've been there a number of times. It's probably the best bike shop in Houston, I'm just going to say. I know my bike shops, and when you walk into a bike shop, there's an immediate vibe. I went to a different bike shop when I was looking for some shoes, and I got a really bad vibe, and everybody there was snobby and not helpful, and they weren't even knowledgeable. And then I went to see Ken, and I bought like $300 worth of shoes, helmets, locks, every single possible thing that I needed to start riding my bike every day to work. And so that's the bike front. Let's see. And I had to go to Target and pick up a few things that I don't want to carry. There's a Target and a Walmart within walking distance of where I'm living right now. That's another factor that played into me wanting to move into this place. One of the other places that I looked at was like an 80-foot long, double wide trailer with 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, big giant living room kitchen combo. The place was huge, but it was a huge dump. And I mean, dump as in like, holy crap, scary dump. Like you're going to be worried that when they turn the electricity on, when the power company comes to turn the electric on, is the place going to catch on fire? Is it going to leak when it's raining? Is if a good wind gust comes along, is it going to knock the thing over? The place was it was 10 miles from the bakery where I'm working at, but I was about to move there. I was about to say yes to the place because it was in the right price range. And there's just not a lot. I didn't have a vehicle. I didn't have a lot of options available to me. And I'm riding my bicycle to look at every place except for this one here. Because it was a little bit farther, and my friend was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride, no biggie. And I was about to make a move on that other place, the dump. And I was about to just resign and say, okay, I'll do it for a year, whatever. I'll live with it. Figure out how to get the electric turned on, the water, the utilities, all that stuff. And I was sitting on the couch that night, and I just had this feeling. That kind of feeling that you get when God is nudging you. And he kind of was nudging me he was in a way of, psst, hey, why don't you take one more look? Take another look. And so I saw this tiny house. The only picture on Craigslist was the outside that I showed you on the way in here, just the front. And there was a verbal description of what it was. And I sent an email to the guy. There's laundry, there's a washer and dryer in the garage that I can go over and use. There's some more going on here than just this little tiny house thing. But this is like my private space. This is like my tiny little house. Over here you can see I have a shower and a sink. And there's a toilet over there that you can't really see right now. But it is kind of like a glamorous jail cell. It's like being back in prison. And as you can see above me, there's some work that still needs to be done. The owner of the place is going to have... he has a contractor lined up to come in and to finish that off. You can see behind me there's a little loft space up there, and it's actually bigger than it looks in the video. So there's a lot of storage space in this tiny little place. The bicycles that you see behind me, I'm going to keep those out in the garage. I just wanted to show you what this place looked like after I got done dumping everything that I have into it. And that way, as I tidy this place up and as I organize and as I set things up, you'll get to see some ideas on how do you take a tiny little room like this, basically a glorified prison cell. In fact, I'm trying to think, it is a little bit bigger than the biggest jail cell that I had during my stint in the federal system. But the shower in the corner, having a toilet right next to your sink, right next to where you eat, that's prison right there. Boom. You shit where you eat. Especially if you're eating in the cell that day because they're not letting you out to the rec area. And at the Butler County Jail, down the road from where Donald Trump got shot, that's pretty much every day. I kept a log of how much the jail was locked down to where we were stuck in our cells for 24 hours a day or 23 hours a day. And it was insane. Months. I mean, it just months after months upon months of being locked in a tiny little cell with another person with a combo sink toilet right next to you. someone's got to take a shit, you basically got to roll over and look the other way and put a blanket over your head so you don't. Oh. But, this is a little bit cooler than that. It's very efficient. Like I said, all the utilities are included. The electric, the water, the heat, everything. There's a air conditioner right there in the window. It's already cooled this place down tremendously. It's definitely, it's not loud. It's on full blast and you don't even hear it. I'll talk about this place some more as these videos go on. So I'm going to kind of, I just wanted to give you the tour. And, once again, here we are. I just brought a bunch of random stuff and threw it all in here. And now I got to figure out how to make it work. I went over to Target. I picked up, you can see back there, I picked up some wire shelving, 1 wire shelving unit. Because that's really all I could fit in here. You can see I've got a very stylish plastic Adirondack chair. You may have seen it in the original video. I'm not gonna go all out with this. And so the only bill that I have on top of rent every month right now is internet. I had to bring my own internet. And so what I did was I went with the T-Mobile wireless internet 5G hotspot for your home. It's like I think it's like a little tower. I haven't even opened the box yet. I had it shipped to my friend's house earlier this week. And so tonight I'm going to work on setting up. I have a Coleman camping cot with a 3-inch thick memory foam mattress. That's going to be my prison cell bed over in the corner there where you see the bicycle. I think. I don't know. I got like a little kitchen space here. I got like a little hot pot plate thing. I got a tiny, tiny little fridge, but the owner of the place said that he was going to get me a bigger fridge, like a shoulder height. I think one of those shoulder height fridges. I know the exact one that I see all the time. That can easily hold a week's worth of food for one person, and it has a big enough freezer to, you can stock that up with it. You could easily get a couple of weeks of food in a fridge like that. This tiny little fridge here, I got enough iced coffee to last me until Monday. I got me some Burger King for tonight. Ooh, I'm living large. I'm eating like a champion right now. I'm going to use this tripod that I'm using to shoot this video. And I'm just going to stand my phone up in front of me and watch some movies later if I don't have my desk or a laptop set up or the internet working or whatever. But I got all these bags over here, these backpacks full of clothes, and most of that is clothing and some other random stuff. And so a lot of these like bags and boxes are going to be stacked up in that loft there. And then there's another little space on the property that I can stack a few more things. And I can keep my bicycles out in the garage. Right now, I'm not doing it just yet. There's other people that live in this house, or this. It's a house where a guy rents out a few of the bedrooms in the house to different people. And then he built this tiny house on the property and he rents that out. And he's just basically, he's trying to get into the property game. He's got another property somewhere else that he's renting out to somebody. And he's just trying to level up and get some properties and make a living off of it. And he also owns a jiu-jitsu business. And so the guy is definitely a really cool dude, at least so far. I got a really good vibe when I came over to see the place. That played a big factor. That was a big factor in me wanting to move in here. The dumpy place that I looked at, the owner didn't give me a good vibe. He basically just kind of gave me this vibe like, yeah, I know it's a dump. I know it's probably going to burn to the ground. I don't really care. Take it or leave it. And I was just like, yeah, I would like to leave it, but give me a day or two before I make up my mind, because Oh, this place, it's tiny, but it's way better. Way better. It's I signed, and another bonus is I got to sign a 6 month lease, so I don't have to live here for a year. This is more like easy to like get set up. I have enough. I have stuff. A minivan was enough to hold everything I brought and owned, except for that office chair that you see behind me and the two bicycles. I had to go back to my friend's house and get the office chair and the two bicycles. The office chair and one of the bicycles were purchased after I came to Texas. So I moved to Texas carrying what would fit in a minivan. Some of the stuff some of the boxes I haven't even opened yet because I figure I'm not going to need that stuff until I get a place. Now I have a place, but I think some of these boxes are just going to stay unopened, or they're going to get opened, pulled apart, sorted through, and put back, and I'm just going to store them somewhere. But I have places on this property that I can store a few things, as long as it's not disrespectful and ridiculous. There's certainly a few spaces, but the nice thing about the size of this is I can't go and spend money on furniture. I can't go and spend money on things for my home because my home is full. It's packed. It's done. There's no more room for anything. So I can focus on the things I have to focus on now. I can shoot a video whenever I want to shoot a video. I can stay up as late as I want to stay up and work. That was the case. Nobody at my friend's house was telling me, to not work at 11 o'clock at night if I so chose to do so. And, there was nothing like that. It was a good experience living with my friend and his family. But there's something to be said about the peace and quiet when I am working. I don't have to worry about background noise. I can have conversations with clients over the phone. I can have conversations at a normal speaking voice without people hearing stuff in the background and without me bothering anybody in the house. So that's a good thing. All in all, it's a 6-month commitment here. If things don't improve in life, then I could sign another 6 months, ride it out, see what happens. Now there's a chance I have a hook on a job that would be about $150,000 a year. Came at me last week. We're having some scheduling. I was supposed to talk to them yesterday on the phone, but the guy didn't call. He never really gave me a specific time. It's more of like an HR phone screen, initial phone call kind of a thing. But it's a legit opportunity. And, I'm going to have to try and solidify that. I would say in the next, tomorrow being Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime before Wednesday, I'm probably going to either call him directly, which I don't think would be a bad idea, or he's going to call me and we're going to have that conversation. Yesterday I didn't push the subject. I didn't push really hard for it because I was going through hassle trying to get a van to rent and move my stuff. U-Haul turned into a disaster. I canceled the reservation. I went with Enterprise. Enterprise gave me a big hassle when I went to pick up the vehicle. We'll talk about that some other time. But we were able to make it work. Everything went smooth as soon as I had the key in my hand and on the road. I went and picked up this bicycle, went back to the house last night. Didn't do anything. I sat and relaxed because I knew today was going to be hectic. Got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and just started packing my stuff. And I was out the door at 10 a.m. with the first run with the truck or with the van filled. Got here. I did everything. I moved all this stuff myself, even that antique desk that you see back there. I moved all of it myself. Except for getting it in the van. My friend helped me, but I was on my own when I got here. No big deal. Everything I brought. Like, this is all on purpose. I'm not carrying around anything that I can't carry myself right now. I'll wait until I get a bigger place. I'll wait until things are a little more solid in life. And we'll go from there. Then I'll get some real big boy furniture again. I had a coffee table at my last house that weighed 450 pounds. That was a coffee table. Um, I don't even want to think about it because that place was so awesome and gorgeous, and it was such a beautiful home that I don't know if I'll ever have a home that nice again, to be honest, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and outdo it someday. Um, but yeah, I'm a little bit, if you haven't heard from me in a couple of weeks, it's because I had the house to myself a couple weeks ago. I started shooting a video. Everybody came home. I stopped. I wasn't done with the video. And I thought, well, I'll finish it up in a day or two. And I never really had the house to myself. And if I did, it wasn't a good time for me to do a video. And so I stalled, and I didn't have and it got close to the move date here, and I had a lot of things going on, and I'm working on a lot of other things. And it just got to the point where I had to just say, you know what? I'll shoot a video when I get into the new place, and I'll go from there. But no, this is a cool little tiny house, and I'm just going to set it up and show you all that you can make it, you can take something like this and turn it into a really cool space. In terms of cooking, in terms of the kitchen, the guy who owns this house that this tiny house sits on, the property, he says I can go into the house and use the kitchen there whenever I want. They have, he has a full range, a full-size fridge, other things, like the stuff you'd expect to see in a kitchen. There's a patio out back behind his house. He's got a big screen TV, a bunch of couches, a grill. Supposedly they like to cook out a lot and hang out. So, and the people here that I've met so far are really friendly. A couple of older guys watching hunting. They're watching some hunting shows on the TV as I've been moving all day. One of them said he would offer to help, but he just had a backiotomy or something like that, and he just isn't, feeling it right now. And I was like, no, we're good. I had plenty of time. I got the rental van back on time, an hour earlier than it was supposed to be. I made a trip to Target. I picked up a handful of things that I just didn't want to carry walking. Since I had a van and I'm paying for it, I may as well use it even though I didn't want to spend the money right this minute. I figured there are a few things that I can do with this van in my possession for 24 hours on top of moving my stuff here and accomplish a couple of more things and get some more out of the van. Get some more out of that money I spent. And, none of it felt like I set a budget for myself on what I was going to do in terms of the bicycle and the stuff at Target. And I was almost exactly on budget without even trying to be. It just worked out that way magically. So I feel like Spirit is guiding me along with that. I feel like he's got my back. And, this is a 6-month commitment. And within the next few days, tomorrow is going to be my big, see what the hell I can do in 24 hours. But I'm going to have to rest up a little bit because I've got to probably go into the bakery on Monday morning and get there by 8:30 in the morning, and it's a 18 to 22 mile bike ride. But it is going to be 50, 60, maybe even 70 degrees. It's going to be one of these days that starts out maybe in the 50s and gets up over 70. It's supposed to be sunny. So I'm looking forward to it. But it is going to be a long bike ride. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to have to use the GPS, but I've got a handlebar mount on the Red Rocket. I can run Google Maps. I can sit there and look at Google Maps as I bike, just like in your car. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you all the update. I'm going to sit here and eat this delicious Burger King dinner, and then I'm going to pick up a box and start doing it. I think I'm going to take these desk drawers here, put them in this desk over here. That'll give me some more room right off the rip. I got to find the key to the top of that desk so I can open it up, turn it into a desk. put some stuff in there and just kind of organize that space and just, do what you got to do, I guess. And maybe take my bicycles out to the garage or put them out on the porch for the night. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to set, that's where my bed's going to go. My cot, whatever, my prison mattress and my cot. I don't know. And then I got a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I got more than it's overwhelming as everything has been for the last April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's been like 10 months. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, it's been 10 months. 10 months since I got out of the joint. Tomorrow, on the 2nd, it'll be exactly 10 months since I walked out the door of Danbury Federal Prison. And it's just as overwhelming right now as it was that day. But it's better than being homeless in Jamestown, New York when it's 6 below zero. I'll tell you that much. But I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to have to go over to Target tomorrow, pick up some laundry soap, some cleaning supplies. I didn't even think of that today. The only thing I got was coffee. The most important thing, iced coffee. And then I just couldn't even think in terms of groceries. I was just like, I don't know. I'll come back tomorrow. But it's walking distance. There's a Target. There's a Walmart. There's the bakery that I work for has a location less than a mile down the road from right here where I'm sitting. So I might be able to transfer and work there instead. But it's a different owner than the one I'm working at. I don't know how that works. There's some other factors at play based on what I've seen around here in this area. But there are, within a 1 mile radius of where I am sitting right now, I would bet there's 100 places I could put in a job application for a part-time or a full-time, whatever time job that's available. I believe that I am willing to bet that within a 1 mile radius of where I'm sitting, I could put in 100 job applications. And within a 2 mile radius, I don't even know. It's that's one of the things that appealed to me about moving here, because I don't have a car yet, because because I'm relying on bicycles for transportation. I've got 2 places I can walk to get groceries. Walk, less than a mile. 2 places I can get groceries at and less than a mile away. And then there's another grocery store 2 miles away. 3 grocery stores within a 2 mile radius. I can get one of those push carts. I used to use it in Pittsburgh. They have this place called the Strip District. It's a strip it's like 20 blocks long of all of these ethnic food stores. You can literally, if you can think of an ingredient, you can get it in the Strip District, and it's going to be the best quality, and it's going to be the cheapest that you can find it anywhere. And I mean anything, you name it, you can find it in the Strip District. There is absolutely not any saffron, got it. I know where to go. You want anything. You want some Mexican. You want Mexican food. There's 2 Mexican food stores there. They make their own tortilla chips. You can get a 5-gallon bottle of Chipotle salsa. It's the best salsa I've ever had in my life, and you can get it in 5-gallon jugs. Crazy stuff in the Strip District. But in order to go shopping, if you really want to do it right, because it's 20 blocks long, the best thing to do is show up with a push cart, like a collapsible shopping cart with 4 wheels and a metal cage. And none of the stores will bat an eye at you if you walk into them with one of these carts full of groceries from 10 different stores. Nobody has ever given me a hassle about that, ever. Pushing one of those carts around the stores. And so I've done that. I've walked up and down 20 blocks going to 30 different stores to get groceries. And I used to do it regularly when I lived in Pittsburgh. The only day that you can really do it is Saturday, because if you work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, The strip district's only open 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays, everything. So Saturday is the only day that you can go, and you got to go bright and early. You're going to have a hard time finding a parking spot unless you're a local and you know all the tricks. But you're going to have a blast. You're going to have a blast. But it is going to take, you get there at like 8, 9 in the morning, you're going to be grocery shopping till 2 in the afternoon. You're going to stop and eat lunch somewhere. You got to be careful. You might want to even take a cooler with some ice so that some of the, stuff like that you buy isn't going to go bad. You got to plan it out. You definitely got to plan this out when you do it. But I've done that before. I've gone grocery shopping like that before. No problem. It's no different pushing a cart over to Target or Walmart, filling it up with a bunch of groceries and walking back. 15-minute walk each way. Boom, I got groceries done for the week. So that was another appeal. The place that I was looking at that was a dump was far away from everything. It was 10 miles away from the bakery, and the closest place where there would be, like the closest grocery store, I believe, was 4 or 5 miles away, north or south. There were multiple areas that I could go to get my stuff done, but it would be a 5-mile bicycle ride just to go. I think every town in America has a Dollar General, and what's the other one? It has a Subway and a Dollar General. So yeah, there was a Dollar General right around the corner. So you could get some things there. You could get, your box food and your cold drinks. You could get some things there. In a pinch, you could walk over to the Dollar General. It'd probably be a 15-minute walk each way, but you could go hit up the Dollar General. It's about a mile away. But a real grocery store, 5 miles on the bicycle. So I'm going to have to get grocery panniers, grocery bags for the back of the Red Rocket to mount to the side of a bike rack. And I can do that, but it's going to, it's a lot more convenient to just walk less than a mile to 2 different places that are right there. And if I'm really feeling it, I could walk 2 miles to the other grocery store that has better produce and whatnot. And I can use my bicycle between them. I can go over to the grocery store that's 2 miles away on my bicycle. 5 minutes there, 5 minutes back, fill up some I do have a set of small panniers on that bike. I could fill it up with enough stuff to get me through a few days, throw on a backpack, fill up a backpack and 2 side saddlebags and with groceries. So I got some ideas. I am going to look for a car. As soon as I get settled in, set up, pay the next month's rent, get through that first month of who knows what the hell I'm going to need. I got to go get cleaning supplies tomorrow. Windex and whatever else. Windex and some other spray or whatever, and paper towels and that kind of stuff, because I didn't even think about that. Like, if you're starting from ground zero, like the FBI drove a tank into your house and burnt the thing to the ground like you were at the Waco compound back in the 90s, and you're starting from nothing, you'd be amazed at all the random crap you're going to have to go to the grocery store and pick up. And I'm not even starting from nothing. I have some things, but it's random, and it's like somewhat thought out, but not totally, and it's not really meant for, it's been just chaos. You're looking at the results of 10 months of chaos surrounding me right now, and now this is the first chance that I've had. You can hear me. I'm talking full volume. I'm chilling like a villain in a plastic Adirondack chair. I'm living it. I'm living the life right now. So maybe a year or 2 from now, you'll be seeing me living the dream, like the actual dream somewhere. Maybe I get this $150,000 a year job in 6 months of savings because I don't have any freaking bills and I can't buy anything because nothing fits in my place. Maybe after that much time goes by, 6 months of that and putting all that money in the bank, Maybe I can do something really cool. Maybe I can have a double wide out in the woods. And maybe my son can come hang out with me and spend a significant amount of time down here. And I don't know. There's a lot of things could happen. It's a weird position to be in life when you could be a week away from getting a $150,000 a year job, or you could be stuck making minimum wage for the rest of your life, and who knows how that's going to go? Which way is it going to go? You going to zig? You going to zag? I don't know. What's Trump going to do? Is he going to fix the economy? Is he going to do it? Is he going to make it all better for us? I don't know what he's going to do. Like, are people going to be willing to, are they going to be willing to put white collar workers back to work? Are they going to, send the Indian programmers back to India? What's going to happen? I don't know. But anyway, you saw it. Tiny Housin, episode 1. I think that's where I'm going to cut it off. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.